Let's start this video with a simple idea that everything that you want to do, everything that you wish to do, or everything that you're planning on doing is subjective, and your winning depends on how strongly you believe on that subjective. Let me explain. Let's say you're born into a family where both of your parents, mom and dad, both are doctors, right? Now, you grow up and now you tell your parents that I want to be an engineer. They may say yes, they might not say yes, right? Because they believe that being a doctor is the best thing that you or the child can do as a human. Because they have walked that path, they have walked that road, they have completed that journey, and then they have realized, yes, this journey was fulfilling to them. As a result of that, they also think that this journey will be very much fulfilling to you, which they are not wrong to say, because you trust what you have done and you don't trust what's new or alien to you. But they will be not very inclined to say yes to you, yes to that job, because of their personal bias to being a doctor. Similarly, let's say you walk into a car showroom, right? You want to buy a car. Let's talk about luxury cars. You walk into a showroom, you want to buy a car. Now, realistically, you have three choices while you are in the country. You have Audi, you have BMW or BMW or Mercedes, right? I can tell you a lot of kids who love a good Mercedes car, C43, C63s, SL500, and all of those cars, right? But there are some kids who truly love a BMW or BMW, right? They love the M4s, M3s, M3 CS, M2, right? Is Mercedes a better car than BMW? It's your subjective, it's your bias that decides the answer to that particular question. Do you enjoy the luxury of being in a luxury interior, or do you enjoy the power that you get from a inline six-cylinder engine that makes you go crazy? Right? It's all subjective. What you and what I like are two different things. Always remember that. You might like something which I might hate, but you might hate something which I truly love. Everything is subjective in a manner that, let's say you want to do X in your journey. If you truly want to do that X thing and you truly believe that this thing will make you happy, you should do that irrespective of what your peers or what your parents say, right? But if you are chasing something just because you're trying to satisfy someone or satisfy someone's need to do that, but they fail to do that, that's a place where you will be mentally tortured and you will not like it, because that's something you are doing for someone else and not for you. The whole point of this video being, anything and everything that you do will be subjectively hated by someone and will be subjectively loved by someone. A very simple example of this is Nike. I love the brand Nike. Most of my shoes, my gym wear, my football wear is from Nike. Don't I don't have this feeling that I want to buy the other brands, Puma, Adidas, or whatever. I love the brand, right? Now you can convince me, or there might be someone who thinks that Adidas is a better brand. Can I fight them on that? Probably not, right? Because they have built this subjective opinion on that I love this brand and good for you, but I love this brand. There are two truths now. You can't change any one of them, right? So every time you launch a brand, you do something, right? I have seen this with a lot of things. Let's say Blue Orange launched something. Even when the movie Formula One came out, Formula One in a vacuum is a good movie. F1 or whatever you want to call it. It's a good movie. But there were some nerds or some perfectionists, let's call them perfectionists just to not hurt their ego. They could figure out some mistakes in that movie that made them think, oh, this movie is not as good of a movie as you might think, right? And I think F1 was a pretty good, almost perfect movie, right? You can always talk about how 6 or 7 things were out of place. Sure, That's your subjective opinion on that particular matter. But even even a movie like F1, which was shot so perfectly, everything done right, has been hated by some. Can you do something about it? Probably not. But does it change the fact that F1 made a lot of money and the movie was a successful hit? Probably not. That's how subjective opinion works. You are not supposed to change your ideas based on someone's opinion. If you want to build a brand, if you want to do something, that's different. Someone will definitely say that, okay, this is not the right thing to do and you should change how you are doing things, right? Which is absolutely pointless. Think of it in this manner. Most brands were built just because the way they did things were very different from the fact how things were done back then. You look at any brand, you look at, let's say, iPhone. I watched the BlackBerry movie last night. Before iPhone, the idea for a phone or a mobile communication device was a small screen and a big keyboard, right? As soon as the iPhone came, full screen, everything changed. Now you can't even imagine a phone without a screen. A screen is a prerequisite for a mobile phone these days, right? BlackBerry invented the whole class. That's what Mike was sad about, that he invented how the mobile phone should work, right? But as soon as the iPhone came, which was very out of the box, the whole subjective of the world changed. They were like, oh, this makes much more sense. This is how the phone should have been built since day one, right? Steve Jobs went out of the box when it came to the iPhone. And what I want to tell you through this video is, let's say you have an idea. Let's say it's the most out of the box, completely shit idea. Go after it. The worst thing that can happen is you stay here. If you don't do it, you are gonna drive yourself crazy, right? Your worst case scenario is also here. Your best case scenario is just up from here. You can't go down. You can't go down. The world doesn't reward people for trying. The world doesn't reward people who don't try, right? You will stay here. And the world also doesn't negatively reward people for trying. If you try and you fail, you never go down. There are some exceptions, but that's a different thing. But I hope you get the idea. Everything that you see online is subjective, be it your bias towards a brand, be it your consumption habits. I might like Coke, you might like Pepsi. Subjective, isn't it?